Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Dumb Pod. As winners, Nathan.
Winners,
How
Sam!
excited are you?
Did you come in with some boom music? I didn't hear it. I wasn't listening. Sorry.
I didn't come in with some boom music because copyright and stuff, but we did just hear.
Well, we can sing it.
We don't sing on this podcast.
Sam doesn't like my singing. Everyone, he doesn't like people being all,
Don't like people with confidence.
People that don't care.
Yeah. We did just hear the lovely sound of Sammy Draper taking a hanger, and then Matt Guelphy kicking a very late goal in the third quarter.
Nice.
Very good times. Essendon 15-17, 107, defeating the highly fancied, it has to be said, St Kilda Football Club 11-6-72. If I can do some fast maths, that is 32 scoring shots to 17. An absolute shellacking. How bloody good.
It was so, I must admit, I always think we're going to win, but this one, a bit before the game, I was a bit, look, I'm just going to watch it, It's Friday night. Maybe there'll be a movie on.
You didn't yell once.
No, I didn't yell once. And you know what it was for me? The moment, it was early in the first quarter, McGrath charged at, I think, Billings and put pressure on him, and then he handballed to someone, and then he kicked across. Peter Wright sort of intercepted it, and then Jones kicked the goal, and I thought, hang on. We're on here. Like this, that's something, well, not new for us. Frontal pressure. I've heard of teams doing that. Yeah, I've heard of teams doing that. That seems like a thing.
Yeah, it was very good, and we'll get into that detail very soon. Just a rundown of some stats. Redmond, for disposals. Apologies for disposals. Redmond 31, Merritt 26, Hind and Shield 25. For the Saints, Sinclair 31, Gresham 28, Hill 26. In front of the Sticks, Wright kicks 4. Stringer, Jones, Draper, and Guelphy all 2. Perkins, Durham, and Nick Rusty Martin with 1 for the Saints. Gresham 3, Billings, Higgins 2, King, Long, Marshall, and Ryder.
Who cares about them?
Three big boys with the 1. And breathe.
How did we do it?
So I want to start with one little stat that I just discovered, because I do think of something, that might be interesting to talk about, and then do some research. And most of the time I get to the answer and go, yeah, not really. Happens a lot.
You've surprised yourself. Good on you, Sammy.
Well, we played Sydney in round 9 and they kicked 100 plus against us.
They need to bring that up, Sam.
Since that point, which is 3, maybe 4 games now, we have an average of 74.5 points against us per game.
That's decent.
Even though it's 2 losses, we haven't been conceding high scores, and we haven't had that Matthew score against us. And I guess you could kind of then say this was building. It was kind of sort of coming, and it is hindsight, 100%.
Yeah.
But just to be able to stop the opposition from scoring is a major part of improving as a side. And then obviously for us to get on the scoreboard ourselves and kick over 100 is amazing as well. But I thought that was interesting. It shows a bit of more of a defensive mindset. And what we did see on Friday night was a much higher quality team defense.
Much higher quality team defense. And that all started from that frontal pressure and that attacking the ball carrier and putting pressure on the ball carrier, which was, what we haven't really done. We've sort of sat back, or we've gone too far forward. We haven't got that right. And, they got the right. And hopefully that's, I don't want to say it's going to be a catalyst, but I hope that can be something that they take into the next few games. Like West Coast, they played well on the weekend, but they're a danger game because, we want to beat them, seriously. But we should be able to beat them. And then we play Sydney after that. So there's they're not playing great footy at the moment. So there's a couple of great games for us.
Yeah. And I mean, it is the bar now, isn't it? You play a game like that, right, and that now becomes the minimum effort required.
Well, I'll tell you what I found amazing too that was great. And we've talked about how bad our defense has been all year, and we haven't sort of said it's not because of the back 6. I think it's because the team defense has exposed the back 6, and then we've seen them in horrible situations. But what was also I found fascinating was how well Ridley and Laverde played on guys that they were nearly giving away 7 to 10 centimeters on.
Yeah, but it is amazing, as you said. It is amazing that once you sort your team defense out, they were not able to waltz out of their defensive 50 and transition. There was a stat Fox had at halftime that was our average for the season to halftime was about 38 points against
36, 38
for defensive 50.
Mm-hmm.
St Kilda had 2 points
and
ended up with only 1 goal for the game from our back half. From their back half, from our full half. It's amazing what happens when you sort that shit out. And all of a sudden, the big defenders, even though they were outsized, they could still compete and have the contest and have a third man across and all that because they had time.
And we saw that a lot in those contests. Like, I didn't mean to just say they were one-on-ones, but a lot of the times that there was like Laverde or Ridley or even Phillips got back a few times, or some Massimo got into a contest, So there were guys in there helping out the taller defenders who are outsized.
Yeah, and how I think if you could combine the games of Ridley and Laverde as one effort, they were also amazing. Like match winning between the two of them, because if it was Laverde in the contest, Ridley was able to chop out. If it was Ridley in the contest, Lav was able to chop out. They did give away a free kick or two, but end of the day, King, who the commentary were just so excited about kicking the bag, kicked one. Rowan Marshall kicked one. And Paddy Ryder kicked one. So they're 3 big tools. The big issue we thought we were going to have. Kicked a goal each.
And Peter Wright kicked 4 for us.
And Big Pete, And we had
at which they,
too.
And there was a stage there where they sent Membry back, and that caused problems for us. But Peter, he kicked probably 2 of those goals in the last 10 minutes of the game.
Last 2 minutes.
2 minutes. But I would say he was good. Like, he gave off a few and he was involved in a few others. So he was good throughout the game.
What I wanted to say about Big Pete, because I have struggled to give 3 votes or to give the 3-2-1 this week because there were so many good players. So much so I had to wait for the coaches' votes to come out just to see what they thought. But as you said, Pete kicked his goals late, so I wasn't going to include him. But what I did like was his other efforts that led to goals. So the goal Durham kicked where he kind of, I guess, took a half hanger. I don't know what you'd call it.
That was a hanger. He got the knees on the shoulder.
With the ball just outside 50, he did a lovely little tap down to, I think it was Shield running past. Just amazing awareness of just where your teammates are.
That's when Durham took the mark.
And then he, on the deck, got the ball, got a lovely handball off to Jones, who kicked a goal, and there was another one too where he
intercepted the kick across to and gave it to help Jones out.
There was another nice little quick handball that he gave off.
Look, and I thought Jones played well. Like what I noticed too, and I was thinking about the 3-2-1 was I struggled to really. I didn't struggle, but I reckon there could have been 10 guys that were fighting between that 3-2-1 sort of position because there was one of those, and you often see it in a team victory. The team played well. There was not one, Shield played well, Parrish played well, Merritt played well. A whole bunch of them played well. And I think that shows that that's what the team needs. They weren't trying to be carried by one guy.
And that's what we carry on about. The whole team defense is a big part of winning games of football. When you can have a guy, and I use Wright again as an example, even though he kicked 4, when you can have guys doing the selfless things to do those little taps, the little handballs, all those little things that lead to goals, but then also all those little things that stop goals. I mean, it's pretty simple. Really. You kick more goals in your opposition, you win. So
that's a simple sport, isn't it? But no, it was just exciting. It was. I think I said to you, we look like a real footy club, and that's what we do. And what I reckon the best part was when they came at us with those 5 goals in a row and got level, and I thought, oh, well, look, we've been good. That's nice. I'll see how we go now with this. And they were what, 5th or so on the ladder at this stage, 6th maybe. And we then responded with 6 back. I think on the back of a boomer from Stringer at about 55, which was a lovely kick. But
that is the biggest,
we haven't done that
biggest thing out of the game for me because, I mean, when you're not playing well and when the media is on you and all that sort of stuff,
confidence is gone.
They drop their heads pretty quick. And I can understand how that happens. 100%. It's frustrating, but,
Well, they know what's coming because it's happened in the last 10 weeks.
And we also had, I'm not quite sure at what point in that run it was. I'm fairly sure it was before we kicked our first goal in that run of 6. Clear as day, holding the ball in the middle of the ground.
Yep.
That they got the handball out of. And then they kicked it to a 1-on-1. It was McGrath on Higgins.
Oh, yeah.
And McGrath outmarked him.
Yep.
And at that point, when you get a decision that goes against you, you've already conceded 5 goals bloody quick.
Very quick.
But they didn't. And they went on to kick 6 of their own. Which...
I wonder what sort of confidence they take out of that too, because, you know, they've beaten a good team. They've played the footy, they've been trying to play for a while. So hopefully, and as you said, like, I reckon their heads were dropping pretty quickly in the previous games when things wouldn't go right, or, they'd score pretty quickly. Other teams were scoring very easily against us, and, that would have been hard. Yep. I wonder how quickly their heads were dropping. Whereas this, from this game on, we still got hard teams to play, which is great, because I want to play good teams. You want to play best teams. Know where you're at.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see. Like West Coast, hopefully we can beat them. Let's not talk about that.
There is a big thing with West Coast. It is as much as I want to be playing good teams and see where we are against them, I also want to see us beating teams we should beat.
100%. Yep.
That's
right.
We haven't really done for a while either.
Yep.
Just on that run. So St Kilda kicked their 5th goal of the 3rd quarter with 12 minutes left. Give or take. So 8 minutes of football for 5 goals. We kicked the first of our 6 with 9 minutes or 9.5 minutes left on the clock. So 6 goals in 9.5 minutes of footy.
Yep. And we would kick that last one with
seconds.
Seconds left. Yeah, it was perfect.
That's quick. 11. It was an amazing quarter of football, really, to have 5 and then from one team and then 6 from the other.
Yeah.
Who
were you most excited by, Sam?
Oh, that's a leading question, isn't it? You know my answer to this question? Archie Perkins? Is that what you wanted me to say?
Oh, yeah. Well, if that's... I didn't know who you were going to say.
Oh, sorry. I thought we talked about it. I
don't listen, Sam.
Archie has got a future.
Yeah.
He was just a couple of things. He got the tackle on Ryder that led to a goal. Now, Archie's not big. Paddy Ryder is big. So it was a bloody good tackle to begin with. Did the run around, did the smart thing that forwards do these days. Little things like that. And
stood up in another big tackle and got a handball out that I think led to a goal.
Yep. Able to actually stand up in a tackle. The bit that got me that says a lot about him was, I can't remember how it came about, but he had a set shot from about 50 out, fairly acute angle, like on the fat side. Probably knew he didn't have the legs. Running like he was going to kick it, ran out at the last second, dummied the bloke on the mark, went back in. He missed, but just the awareness and the confidence in your own ability to do that.
Certainly the right idea.
I love.
Yeah.
I love.
What do you think of the Church in his first game?
Big Mass.
Yep.
Or as Sammy Draper said, Massimo.
Yep.
Awesome.
I'll tell you what stood out to me was the kicking. There were a few kicks. There was one where he was basically being tackled and dragged backwards, and he still got this lovely sort of 25-metre kick out, I think, to Redmond, just out of the back, and that was excellent. But then in the last quarter too, there was a beautiful bullet of a thing that went across sort of the goal face, and hit an Essendon player who had St Kilda players around him, not ultra close, but, the kid to have the confidence to go, no, I can hit that target. I can do that.
And then to
and
decide
then to do
I can do it, and then to do it is the big...
I was really excited by that. Can't see him coming out of the team.
No, not yet. There was one kick I remember. He was running up the middle, and I think their options were kind of dry inside forward 50. He was kind of back half of the square.
Yep.
And I think he kicked it, just lobbed it over the top to Ham, who had an opponent right on him, but the kick was just so perfect.
Yep.
Even Ham could take a mark. Sorry.
Well, if he didn't have anyone wrestling with him, he would probably... it's not hard to push a 14-year-old boy around.
No, Ham's marking was actually the highlight of his game.
He doesn't have many highlights.
Talk about 2. Anyway, we're not going to focus on that.
We're not going to focus about Ham. Hopefully he'll be dropped.
Hopefully. Don't drop the Christmas Ham, though. What was your highlight? Who was your...
Oh, well, look, I was really impressed by McGrath. Like, I was sad to hear that he was injured at the end of the game. The abductor, or whatever the problem he had the week before he missed from, he seems to have aggravated again, which is a bit sucky because he can't sort of get a good run at it. And I was really impressed by Like things like that one-on-one where he won that against who was it? Guy that had the from Richmond. He had the brain damage thing.
Oh God. Yeah, Higgins.
Yeah, Higgins. He
had issues, not brain damage.
Oh, sorry. He had an operation to his brain.
Much better.
Yeah, sorry. He did run into a post. Let me kick that goal. And look, there was that frontal pressure moment at the start of the quarter. He did some really great things that I thought his defense was brilliant. Now, at the start of the year, I was all against him staying as a halfback flanker. I thought, no, he's got to get to the midfield. He's got to progress his, evolution of being the footballer that I think he should end up being. But I've now resigned to the fact that he could be all-Australian halfback flanker, which I'll be okay with.
All-Australian, big shout.
Well, I honestly think he could. Like, he's got all the attributes. He's pacey. He's smart. He's strong. He's got leadership qualities. You can see him pointing and giving directions in the games. So, yeah, I'm calling it all Australian.
Right, big call. One thing remiss of me not to mention already, especially when you asked me who I was excited by, Ben Hobbs.
Rising yes,
Star nomination for round 14.
Maybe that's what I was leading to.
Yep, you totally meant that. 22 touches, 5 marks, 8 score involvements. Although he did kick 3 points. So,
he hasn't got a left foot, we found out.
Yes, he hasn't. But really good reward for effort for him. It is a combination of a month or more of good football.
Great football.
He belongs. He just fits in that side, and there is not even a doubt in my mind that he's in our best 22 and should continue to be in our best 22, even if it's not as a pure midfielder.
I still would like to see him get a bit more of that time, but at whose expense is the challenge? I guess, And
then you got to weigh up: is it better if he plays VFL pure mid, or if he plays AFL not? I'd rather see him play AFL. Like,
I would agree with that, but I don't mind the idea of him,
because he's still going to get exposure to stoppages, not centre bounces.
Yeah, but he's not going to get the opposition in the VFL might not be the same. I guess maybe they're working on some of his weaknesses, and that obviously was shown up that his left foot is a little bit lacking, and maybe by playing as a half forward pocket or forward pocket or forward flanker or wherever they're putting him a bit more, that he can work on some of those skills and then build up his strengths to get into that midfield.
Yeah, but what we have seen is good decision maker. Generally,
he's tough. He tackles.
Good set shot. Got a few goal assists as well. Nice little quick handballs, quick decisions.
I think very serious is one of the things I don't love about him. Like, he's a bit too,
No, rate it.
I like the Sammy Draper attitude. The little bit like the Paul van der Haars, the sort of the Billy Duckworths, the old guys that sort of would smoke and drink before games and go out there and have best dons because they were just purely talented and they were unreal.
What year is it?
2022, I think.
There's no cigarettes before games these days, champ.
I used to play footy with the guys that used to smoke at halftime.
One of the first interviews Hobbs did was talking about helping Essendon win a final. So he's determined, he wants success, and we shouldn't.
Seems like a great kid.
We shouldn't hang shit on him for that.
I would even go as far to say that he has been better than Horn Francis.
Without a doubt. He wants to stay at the club, which is a massive dub.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't want to pick on the poor kid because he's had a bit of a rough week. But
look, I wouldn't be thrilled to be going to North Melbourne either. But when you're getting your chance at AFL, you play for whoever is going to pay you to play AFL football.
So, I reckon you wait 10 weeks and then go start talking to other clubs. I reckon that's a bad look.
And arguing with a club legend in Goldstone. Yeah.
Yeah. He seems just a bit like ahead of himself at the moment. He just needs to pull back, play some footy and just get into the game.
So desperate to be pick one for the pure fact of being pick one, apparently. Like, he was just wanted to be a number one draft pick.
He obviously loves that sort of pressure and wants to take that on. And good on him, but,
it's fine, but yeah, he's not. Yeah.
Well, we'll still pull your head in a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Pull your head in.
Now, should we release some news? Breaking? That's my breaking news.
There was a photo on what I believe. Are you talking about Heppel, yeah?
No, you're getting married. Yes, Apple.
I can marry him. Cool. His partner's Instagram. He's holding a coffee cup. I'll show you, but it's going to mess up with my background.
We can get the picture.
With his hand all wrapped up in bandages and tape and stuff. So fair to say he probably won't be playing next week. Neither will Pidge, and I hope to Christ neither will Ham.
Sounds like
bit of a shame. Bit of a shame for Hep. Was his best game.
Well, he's great.
For the year, did some nice, just clever little things, just little taps, little bits here and there.
Smart.
Made the good decisions. Led really well. So bit of a shame. He did say in his interview post match that his hand was cactus, I think was the term. Not new either.
He's had a bad run with hands, like fingers and stuff. It's a weird thing to keep hurting. Like you know, like
and
the balls aren't that hard. Like
important as a hamstring too, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we expect to see him out, which is a bit of a shame. I'm also told, and take this with as many grains of salt as you desire, that we'll have a debutante this week.
What was that? Sorry?
We will have a debutante this week. Who that is, I don't know. I could hazard a guess at McDonough, but
I wouldn't like that, to be honest.
Time will tell, and I don't claim that to be gospel. That's just
fair enough.
News.
So
speaking of news,
go.
I was going to say VFL men's and women's. Obviously, the women's are into the big dance.
Woohoo!
Smashing case.
Smashing.
I believe 74-9 or something like that.
Yeah.
Into the grand final in a fortnight's time. The 3rd of July, I think that grand final is.
Well done, Bombers.
Well done, girls. And the men's third win on the trot. Very good win against Sandringham.
Let's go with that.
The Zebras. St Kilda's VFL side, interestingly enough. And another 3-goal haul for Stewart, although unfortunately got injured.
Baldwin was quite good, I believe.
Baldwin kicked 3. Cutler had a really good game with
Cutler had 35.
30-odd touches. But good, winning form across the board, 3 for 3.
Yeah.
Don't know the last time that would have happened. I know our VFL women's have been pretty poor up until this season.
They haven't been beaten, so they're the ones been holding the flag up for us all.
31 for Cutler. Langford had 19 touches in about a half football, I believe.
Guy Menzies kicked 2. Maybe he might be the debutant.
Who?
Guy Menzies.
Oh, that's the other mid-season?
Yeah.
I would hazard a guess that it will be a defender if Heppel and
Pidge out. Yeah. On that, can we have a quick conversation about ins and outs for next week? Just thoughts?
We can do that. Kind of already have.
Okay, who do you think your ins are then? If we know 2 of the outs.
Well, if Parrish was close this week, I assume he will play next week.
Yep.
That's a fairly safe assumption. I don't know about Langford and Snelling. Both only played half a game of VFL, so I'm not particularly Snelling, who re-injured the same injury last time he played AFL. I'd say Langford's more likely there. But
I would probably throw Cutler in as a good replacement, probably for Heppel.
On form, absolutely. He's one of those guys that seems to just dominate VFL.
But not quite up to AFL.
Quite there, AFL, yeah. Needed an in-between league. Yep. But another Friday night game, so we'll know.
Yeah, that's good. Yep. The shorts are Friday night? Oh.
Yeah, because it's double header. It's like a 8:40 game for us here in the Victoria or the Eastern States.
What time does it start, did you say?
8:40, I think.
Oh, come on. That's late.
There's a 7 o'clock kickoff, though.
I'll be tired, Sam.
It's Friday night, I know. Yeah, 8:40. And the Dogs and Hawthorn play at 7.
Okay. A couple of good games of footy this week. All the top 8 are playing each other.
Great round, yeah.
Well, the other one I might throw in there too is Ham. Look, the problem I have with Ham is that I think we've talked about this, he's 3 or 4 years into a career at Essendon football and he still looks 10 kilos too light for the damn game.
He's just bad. Like his first 2 touches, he missed an open target by about 5 metres and it went out for a throw-in. And his second disposal, he missed an open target by about 10 metres and kicked it straight to a St Kilda player. Bro.
But the other issue I have when there's a one-on-one, and I think it was with Billings just sort of went, get out of the way and marks.
I want to talk about that actually. Yeah, you're right. He got pushed out of it way too easily. Like Billings or Gresham, whoever it was.
It was one of those
two. He's not a big boy.
No, but it's Ham's biggest issue that he's not quick. He's reasonably quick, but he's not courageous. He's not a brilliant kick. He's not a brilliant handball. I don't know what he is. He can probably run a long distance, but he's too light and too small to play the damn game on the wing.
Yep. What I want to talk about there, though, is whoever it was, Gresham or Billings, took the mark, and then Guelphy was running past with Sinclair.
Yep.
Sinclair did a little quick step and hightailed it the other way, which left Guelphy in a very, very horrible position. And he ran on the fat side, which there was about, 10 metres between the kicker and the boundary line. He was never going to go that way.
Right.
And they paid 50.
It was horrible. And the I didn't like the Higgins one either that he got.
No, but the 50...
It hurt.
The 50... Where's the common sense? And I did like the Brian Taylor quote. Not very often I'll quote Brian Taylor. They had a bit of an argument on air because most of them thought it was a terrible 50, but
I think
Brian thought it was in the rules it was a 50. And he said rules are written in black and white, not common sense. Now, what the hell is Guelphy supposed to do? You're guaranteeing a 50-meter penalty just by quickly turning away and leaving your opponent stranded. Like, that's shit. Well, if that's a grand final and a team wins a game of football because of something like that, the game's ruined. Like, it's lost all integrity, all interest.
100%, I agree with you. And players, I've seen that happen in other games where players are using that as a tactic. And if the umpires aren't smart enough, which this one clearly wasn't, they're getting sucked into it.
Now,
it's like some of the players are doing the little, fake handball to get them just to step. Is that stepping off the mark or is that just trying to trick someone?
If Guelphy had run into the middle of the ground, I could understand why that would be 50.
Because he would have run across where
his arc where he might go.
Yep.
But to run to the fat side where there's not a single player he can kick to, nah. Where's your common sense, umpire?
Where is your common sense?
Where is it?
Well, I'm Guelphy. I just want to make a quick reference to quick. Now, I'm a bit of a knocker of Guelphy. I find but what I really liked about his game was playing that defensive forward role on mostly Sinclair, but I think he also played a bit on Hill.
Yes, he was on Hill, between Hill and Sinclair most of the time.
And I thought that was great because what stood out to me in the Carlton game was how easily Sard and Doherty just ran the ball out of our back 50. Like, seriously, they just sort of stood there for a bit and went, I might go this way and kick it. Whereas we didn't let that happen in this game. We put pressure on those little situations, and most of it was Guelphy doing that. And I thought, well, there's a role I can get around and support.
And he kicked 2 goals.
And he kicked 2 goals, which is a bonus. But I would be more than happy with a defensive
absolutely.
But pressure act, and a goal's great.
If you can hurt him going the other way, even better.
100%, yeah.
A couple of other special mentions, just because remiss of us not to mention. Obviously, Peter Wright with 4 was brilliant for his efforts before he kicked the 2 late goals.
Stringer was a bit better this week.
Stringer had a great third quarter. Really helped drag us back in front, I guess. Big Sammy Draper. What a meme of a bloke.
Did you see the guy's shirt?
Yes, hard to miss. He kicked 2 goals, one from a free kick where he tackled and the Saints guy clear as day threw the ball.
Yep.
Not a shit free kick like buckling at the knees and copping a push in the back. Looking at you, Higgins. And then he took a nice big contested mark and kicked his second goal. Took the hanger that set up Guelphy for the late goal in the third quarter. Rucked really well. Did just a beautiful, beautiful tap to Shield in the third quarter. The one where Rusty Martin got tackled before he kicked it. The hit out.
We won the hit outs against Ryder and Marshall, which I would say are a very good rucking combo.
And we got the same goal output.
Yeah.
As well, which was really good. Any other individuals we need to mention?
Well, I think one we have to talk about is Redmond.
Yes. Oh, shit. Yes. 10 coaches' votes.
Well, look, Max Redmond was unreal. Like, he's running carry, his use of the ball, he got back and defended well. He was great. The conversation I'd like to have is, can he become a winger? Like,
we've mentioned that a few times now. He's it seems perfect, doesn't it? Because he's got the run and carry and kicking ability to go forward.
Yep.
But end of the day, he's a defender. Yeah. So he can do that defensive stuff as well. I rate it. 31 touches. I think he went at 93%.
Yeah.
Unreal game from Red Dog. Hind was another one off halfback that was really good.
Yeah,
A lot of run, a lot
point,
of carry, a lot of good kicking, which is lovely.
Yeah, they carry from him. And Shield would be the other one I would mention for
Shield,
3 quarters was very, really good.
25 touches, 5 tackles, game high in clearances, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Another good week for Dill, which is really good.
Yeah.
Really good for us and for him.
He's bounced back well from the Sydney game where, copped a bit of
serious criticism.
Yep. And it'll be interesting after the West Coast game, we play Sydney. That'll be an interesting game, I think.
I said it to you earlier today. If we don't go out there and belt some of them fairly,
belt some of them up.
Just fairly, like cracking hard and making. If Luke Parker is there, game. You better be going low and hard, especially at him.
Let's just see if we can shape the 8 still.
Oh, we can have a say. We play Richmond in round 23. We could really screw them up.
Make them 9th. That'd be awesome.
Oh, season success.
Yeah, that would be the season success.
Absolutely. All right, I have done a Who Am I? Even though it's normally a bit of a, hey, this podcast is dead because we keep losing kind of segment.
We've actually had positive things to talk about.
Had positive
we don't know what to do.
So we'll see how we go. All right. For 6 points, I debuted in 1967 and went on to play 251 games of AFL football.
Bloody, I don't know. 67.
So you were born, wasn't
it? So 80. You would have been 87. Paul Vanderhaar. I've already said him today.
No. 5 points, bit of a shit clue. I'll be the first to admit. I retired in 1979.
Oh God! He didn't even hang on. He was born in 67. What year did you say he retired?
Oh, that's probably not correct. Oh no, that's right. Debuted in 67 and retired in 79.
Debuted. I thought you said
not born. No,
yeah, so I was thinking he was born in
me. Don't do that to me.
Yeah, I was like, oh, don't worry about it then.
He was 12 years old.
Oh God. I don't know. 79. That's even before my time, Sam. Simon Madden. I don't know. It's 60s. I don't know who played in the 60s. Sam.
Alfie has come in with Willie Dick. Wrong person saying it, but no, not Willie Dick. Not Merv Neagle. I guess for Merv. For 4 points, my career highlights include 3-time VFL Premiership player, a club best and fairest, and a spot in 2 teams of the century.
Fairest and 2 teams of the century. No idea still.
Okay. For 3 points, I am an AFL Hall of Fame legend.
Oh, God. Paul Chapman?
Paul Chapman? What? He retired in like 2000.
I know. I don't know the answer to this, Sam, and I'm trying to move it along.
It will make sense to you for 2 points. I am probably better known now as the 1984, 1985, 1993, and 2000 Premiership coach.
What? Kevin Sheedy?
Kevin Sheedy.
Oh, God.
See, I never said he played for Essendon.
Yeah, I know.
I never let on.
That threw me out because every other week they do.
I knew it would. And for 1 point, I am the only immortal of the Essendon Football Club. It is the plumber from Pran.
That was very nasty, Sam.
I thought it was good because it's Kevin. Surely it's allowed.
Fair enough. Any questions from the people?
Well, do I do our votes first, and then
let's do our votes.
Because the votes are really hard.
Votes were very hard, and I did start thinking about this like Saturday morning. Yeah, but who am I giving the 3-2-1 to?
I texted you after watching the full replay going, I've watched it twice now, and I got no idea.
And I think in the end I was, I'm just going to pick the guys I really enjoyed watching play.
Right, so hit me.
Well, I went Redmond, Shield, and then Perkins. I thought he played a great game. I love Perkins.
Yeah, Perko was good. I had to use the coach's votes as a bit of help because I really struggled. Redmond 3, hard to argue. Did get the 10 coaches' votes as well. Probably tipped him over the edge. Shield 2, awesome that he backed it up after last week. Again, high tackle count. and possessions and clearances. Really good. And I gave the one to Hind because I thought he was pretty useful off halfback as well. All right, to the comments, and I do apologise because we've had a fair few viewers live tonight. We've had up to 50 comments, so a couple of them from earlier on have disappeared. I did see earlier.
You've got to sort that out, Sam.
I don't know why. I don't know how to find the full list of comments. So anyway, it is what it is. I did see a few comments saying Langford played the full game of VFL, so apologies for that. I thought he hadn't played.
That's good. So that means he's probably a better shot to come back.
Possibly, yeah. And Snelling 3/4 allegedly.
Okay, yep, that's good then. So that could be pretty good replacements. Obviously, Ham out, Langford in.
Yep. So yeah, thank you.
I'd still get Snelling to play a whole game before he comes in.
Same. Absolutely. The shirts. Phil says the shirts are for sale in the Bomber Shop. The Draper shirts, as seen on the telly.
Oh, really?
Friday night, if you're interested. Yep. Redmond and Heim are on fire. Jordan, thank you. Alex said Ham's game wasn't his worst.
Whoa.
But I find it hard to believe he will be included in a premiership side. It's a pretty low bar, has to be said. I thought he was awful, so that's just me.
It's not good enough. It's as clear as day. It's clear as the nose in front of your face sort of thing. It's like his quality of football is not up to the other guys.
Absolutely nowhere near it.
Yep. And we're third from the bottom. Take it in perspective. We're third from the bottom.
Who would you
struggling
have?
To find players? He's getting a game, and he's our worst in our 22 at the moment.
Who would you rather? Dylan Clark or Ham?
Dylan Clark.
Same.
Dylan Clark at least had a heart and could do something. He could go in the midfield and get the ball out.
Absolutely.
He just couldn't kick it when he got it.
Yeah, minor. A bit of outrage at the best and fairest. No, you didn't. You catfished us. Sorry about that. I was pretty happy with it.
Sorry, what?
Some people weren't happy with Who Am I? Saying they got catfished. And oh no.
Can you explain to me later on what that is?
Sure.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, I'm not explaining it now.
No, it's fine. I'll Google it.
Redmond, pretty consistent, 3 votes across the board. Elfie did give 3 to 2 meter Peter. I thought 3 meter Peter was thereabouts, but just because they had 2 late goals, just didn't squeeze him in.
But I thought, I agree. Peter was very good, but not the best for 1, 2, 3 for me. But that's my vote.
All right, and that is it. Unfortunately, apologies if you did comment before that. I'm 28. I'm not a boomer, but Facebook's a bit weird, so we might have to jump ship to YouTube live at some point. Any final comments from you?
Maybe that's a question we should ask. Would people prefer this on Facebook or YouTube?
Not going to lie, for us, it probably makes more sense with Facebook, but
if you can't get the comments.
Well, look, if Essendon keep winning and we keep getting this much interest in the podcast,
we're obviously going to win, Sam.
But while we're losing it, it's never really been an issue, to be fair.
I don't know if this is the attitude we should go in with. Oh, well, if we keep losing, we don't have to worry about people talking.
Terribly sorry to jump in. Rick, honourable mention to Caldwell. Yes.
Oh, yes. Excellent. Great point. Yeah.
Absolutely.
He was awesome.
He was brilliant.
And great handballs and packed some great in close stuff, I thought.
Yep. And good tackle, good pressure, just good all round.
Again, I reckon there were 20 good players in that game, or 21. And there was one guy that stood out to me.
Can we say 20 and a half, because I'm still not sold on Kelly.
Oh, yeah. Actually, Kelly, I put in that. I didn't know what he did.
Sorry. I'm still reading comments.
But he's meant to stop our small forwards, and we had what? Gresham kicked 3.
He's not playing on them.
Hey?
He's not playing on them.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Stop him. Phil suggested a multi-stream. Mate, I can't barely do a Facebook stream, so you're going to go with me doing
Phil,
that.
Can you just send the instructions to Sam? Sam's a loser, can't do IT stuff.
Hey, still doing it. Steady on.
You're the boomer in the group.
You just asked me what catfishing was, champ.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
I'd simmer down if I were you. And Jordan suggested Microsoft Teams. We did try that because Zoom changed their pricing structure, but we're still here on Zoom. All right. Nothing else from you?
I was very happy.
We were very happy. It's a great way to start your weekend, isn't it?
It was a wonderful way to start my weekend. Then I got way too drunk on Saturday night on gin.
And you bumped into a Collingwood player.
I saw Brody Mychek walk past me at the function I was at. And I went, hey, that's Brody Mychek.
Brody Mychek.
I said to my wife, that's Brody Mychek. She went, who? Yeah, well, you don't know, do you?
Mixing it up with the pros.
Yeah, I did text my mother-in-law, who's a Collingwood, and I said, hey, Brody Mychek's here.
I didn't go to Bali and see DeGoey or anything. So.
Well, Brody Mychek wasn't touching any girls appropriately. He was just walking around.
He was just being a good dude. He seems like a good dude as mine.
He's pretty cool too.
All right, we'll wrap it up there. Back with the preview on Thursday night for the Danger game against the West Coast. It's a bit silly. We've only won 3 games for the year, but this is a Danger game. We'll wrap it up there. Thank you for those that are here. We really, really appreciate the comments and the interaction we get with you.
And we'll get better at it, I'm sure. Sam, won't we?
Shut up. And if you're listening on YouTube, Apple, or Spotify, thank you as well. We appreciate the support. Go Dons.
Go Bombers.